Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I apologize to the witnesses for my voice. I have a 1-year-old and 2.5-year-old petri dishes at home that have waged war on my vocal cords, so bear with me. But I'm grateful you all are here today because this is an important topic that I want to talk about. But as an avid outdoorsman, it brings me a lot of joy to see the legislation that we have before our committee today that actually promotes good stewardship of our fisheries. Because for far too long, unelected bureaucrats have imposed rules on an industry that they have never worked in, that they don't know much about, but that has incredibly harmed hardworking Americans. I joked yesterday with someone in my office that the flounder in North Carolina, if you catch one and keep it, you'll get the death penalty. If you catch it outside of the 75-second season that we have, that just doesn't work because it assumes that in South Carolina you have a completely different basis for everything that's going on, and it assumes that those fish can't swim across the border into South Carolina. So I want to highlight the fact that NOAA has relied on flawed fishing data that everyone acknowledges is unreliable. And those errors, they don't just show up on spreadsheets. I mean, they shut down seasons. They restrict access for our coastal communities, for folks from my district that travel to go fishing in the beautiful coast of North Carolina. And they punish the very people that depend on healthy, well-managed fisheries. And so we need to do something to modernize the data collection that we use. But I want to use my time to ask some questions to you, Mr. Conrad. It's always good to see someone from North Carolina, particularly someone that I've enjoyed some seafood. I feel like you probably pulled out of the ocean, so it's good to see you. But can you speak to the economic losses that fishermen in the United States face when they follow the strict federal policy, but then they must compete against illegally caught foreign products that are entering our markets?
Congressman, thank you for that question. Good to see you as well. And that's a tough one to answer because, of course, illegal and unregulated is somewhat hard to track. I'll go back to what we feel like is the benefit of this program, and that benefit is that we need the ability to enforce through multilateral and bilateral agreements with our trading partners through the vessel registry, finding out where the bad actors are and rooting them out. Now, I can tell you that on an economic level, I have talked a couple times about eliminating the SEMP program that you mentioned earlier, and I mentioned it at the beginning, that Congress and this subcommittee never authorized NEMPS to create this sprawling regulation. And that does create challenges on our member companies and other companies for essentially data mining is what it is, with zero referrals to the Department of Justice for any IUU fishing at all since its inception. And that is the number one goal of the program, but they have not had a single referral to the DOJ for not doing a great job there.
Well, so you would say that current federal regulations place a disproportionate burden on American vessels compared to the scrutiny that is faced by the foreign fleets?
I would say the current on the is species specific on the SEMP program, so not necessarily on the American vessels themselves, but in some cases, yes.
Sure. From an industry standpoint, would stronger coordination with states, would that help improve the enforcement and the data quality for combating IUU fishing?
I think when we look at IUU fishing, we're talking about national and international situations. So going to other countries, strengthening our trade relationships with those countries, getting a vessel registry so we make sure those vessels never come to U.S. ports, that's what's going to help the American fishermen. That's what's going to put the American fishermen on a level playing field.
Gotcha. Well, Mr. Chairman, I will yield back the remainder of my time. Thank you all.